Alright everyone, racism gets tedious and there's an awful lot of left-wing racism out there. In fact, like, in all of my interactions, I've gone to UVM, Groovy UV with mainly a left-wing clientele. And I've been among, like, fucking hillbillies and rednecks and shit. Lived in Texas, lived in a trailer park in Florida. I'm on the edge of the Northwoods right now. The little woodlot out back, a 30-minute walk through it and you're in the Green Mountain National Forest. There ain't nothing going on in there but banjos and bears, anyway. Just saying that. Just for shits and giggles, I'll point that out. My upbringing is rural. I've been in urban areas. I much prefer the rural ones. And so I'm a rural American. Well, technically semi-rural where I am right now. It's sort of like outer, kinda sort of sub-suburbia, as you would put it. But we're right on the edge of the Northwoods, so I'm just gonna count it as rural dwelling. You know, you got 2.5 acres. I got a shit ton of plants all around me. I like gardening and guns and things like that. Yeah, I'm a rural American. The idea of Whiteruralrage was a thing yesterday. The legacy media and the political wonks in DC complaining about it. Well, Whiteruralrage is what's stoking Trump and keeping him going. Yes, because literally the only people that vote for Trump are hillbillies and rednecks. So people who, it kind of depends on which liquor they prefer to drink. And they're suspender snappers, and they coal roll in their pickup trucks, and they've got Confederate flags everywhere, and Nazi flags and shit like that. That's a stereotype of the white rural American. I find it very, very funny, because if you stereotype literally any other group of people, it's considered unacceptable. Well, suburban white soccer moms, you can stereotype them, like, you know, the housewives thing. That's okay. Otherwise, you're not allowed to make those broad, sweeping, sort of quasi-propagandistic statements about any other group of people. Can you imagine how much... The legacy media executors, if a pundit, or a guest for that matter, went on a program and started talking about black urban rage, or Jewish rage, or anything like that, or Mexican-American rage, they'd be shitting their fucking pants. And you know it. You might as well have the honky show or something like that. I'll tell you about my white rural rage because I can be angry because DC is dysfunctional. The tax system is dysfunctional. Oh, Montpelier is dysfunctional too. State level is arguably even fucking worse, believe it or not, in a state like Vermont. I believe that the government meanders off from the constitutional constraints it's supposed to operate under. It taxes people too excessively. It's involved in a bunch of warmongering that virtually nobody in the public goddamn supports, etc., etc., etc. Damn right that makes me angry. It doesn't make me angry to pay my taxes, it makes me angry knowing that some of that money is going to go to shoot children. That's my rage. It pisses me off, absolutely. Doesn't matter, and the government wants some money from me to build infrastructure. But when it's a bridge to nowhere, or shovel ready, and you waste my money, yeah, that pisses me off some. I could use it better. Just think, if I had a couple extra $1,000 after tax season, how big that goddamn garden could be. I save my money, I'm frugal, I do the best that I can to make sure that when I die, my child will be taken care of, etc. I tend to be frugal with money. It pisses me off. The warmongering pisses me off, genuinely. So how do I take out my rage, is the question. According to the liberal side of the legacy media, I snap my suspenders and I sit out there with my corncob pipe, and whenever I see a minority walk by, I cringe. Or I say the N-word online or something like that. Or I look down on other people. I'm a hard-ass piece of shit, basically. And then I get into my coal rolling pickup with my Confederate flag hat, and I go by the local climate protesters and I buzz them down with the coal roll or something like that. Supposedly that's what I'm supposed to do. I didn't get the white person memo. We white people are interesting. We have a whole internal memo system, like no minorities allowed or anything like that. And we get like marching orders from David Duke and people like that, and it tells us how we're supposed to act. That's basically the stereotype. We're a hegemon, a singularity, a homogenized group that all conforms to the same basic premise. That's not true at all, but that's what we're being told. Now, I was thinking about, what do I do to cope with all the fucking anger inside of me that I supposedly have? Oh, growing carrots. Making memes of Andy Six pooping on 4chan. Extremist activities. Drinking Red Bull? Taking a hike? Eating weird shit from Japan? Those are like my hobbies. Gardening and shit like that. Yeah, I like guns, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a Trump hat right next to me. Wonderful. The idea that I single-mindedly blunder around through life with a vehement rage against people who look differently, people of different ideologies, them shitty schlickers over there, and say, no, that's not the way I think at all. I hate cities. I don't hate the people that live in them universally. I'd never met most of them. It should be the same virtue should be applied to us white rural Americans. No, we don't all fly the Confederate flag. I've got the Gadsden flag in my room. I've got an Ouroboros flag. I got a Trump flag. I guess this is basically the same as a Confederate flag to them anyway, so, you know, they wouldn't give me any leniency on that one. But, no, I mean, if you come by my house, you're not going to find Nazi shit everywhere and Confederate flags and coal rolling. You're going to find an old Toyota Avalon and a bunch of tomato plants. I suppose the fact that I own a Trump flag and an AR-15 is enough for them to judge me as some sort of right-wing fascist wackadoodle or something like that. Dude, I'm not even a Republican. I realize that there are some people out there, by the way, that conform to that basic stereotype. I'm not discounting that fact. There are people who are in the rural zones, Midwest, even up here in Hillbillyville, that they're closed-minded and tribalistic and stuff like that. Dude, there are people in the goddamn city that think the same way. Have you ever talked to a New Yorker? I'm a New Yorker. Oh, they'll tell you that they're more vociferous about that than fucking vegans. I'm a vegan New Yorker. I am the ultimate challenge, the ultimate champion of idpol. Talk to people from major cities and stuff, and they flash their colors during sports games, and they get all like patriotic about being a Bostonian or a San Franciscan or something like that. You know what I think about being in rural America? I like it. I mean, I like the fresh air. There's lots of trees. There's lots of bees. There's lots of berries and all the good things in life that I want. Everything that I want is here in rural America. I wouldn't be comfortable in a city. I mean, it's okay to visit maybe, depending on the city and the part of the city that you're in, but I don't like highways and shit like that. I like quiet. I like to hear the birds and the crickets out at night when I have my window open on an 85-degree night and right on the edge of the swampy North Woods, by the way. Frogs and crickets and shit. It's great. It's a great lifestyle. About the only thing that I wish is that there was more food availability in some of the local markets. I got spoiled being in the Netherlands, by the way. I do have to say, food availability and like getting all the good shit in, yeah, that's a lot easier in a non-rural area. Other than that, I've got no disadvantage and I've got no rage in my heart whatsoever except aimed at the government. Yes, the freakazoids in DC piss me off. Freakazoid leftoids elsewhere, I don't know them. Never met them. You know, if I haven't met you, I can't hate you or anything like that. I do hate the politicians, though. No one's wasting my money. My white rural rage is aimed mostly at other white people. They just happen to wear $5,000 suits and have limousines and shit like that. And that's why I'm going to be voting for Trump. Well, Trump is one of those limousine liberals, technically speaking. At least he's forefront about it. He doesn't pretend. He's not like Mitt Romney saying, oh, wow, your ponchos are real fancy. Who let the dogs out? Who? Doesn't pretend not to be a rich bitch from an urban zone. He'll let you know loud and proud as a New Yorker where he's from. Of course, he's a Floridian now. He's proud about that, too. Yeah. I'll be voting for him, as opposed to Joe Biden that pretends to be the banjo deliverance kid from Scranton, which is about the most pathetic, hilarious thing that I've ever seen within political pitching. So yeah, I have white rural rage. Don't worry though, it's not directed at any of you. That includes the liberals that camp out on my channel just to downvote my videos. It's aimed at DC, and to an extent Wall Street and the Silicon Valley techies over in San Francisco. And Chi-Coms, the Chi-Com authority in Beijing. Well, that's basically it. Yeah, I'm pissed off at groups of people that screw me over. Anyone who's not screwing me over, I got no problem with you at all, and I don't give a shit about the color of your skin. Trust me very much. That's about all. Peace out.